Were you christened Theodore?
No, I wasn't Theodore.
So you're just Theo?
Do you know, I was going to be called Lyndon, actually. Because my mum's name's Lynn and my dad's name's Don. That's why.
Stop it. They were not going to call you Lyndon.
I would have got bullied, wouldn't I?
Sorry.
Lyndon Walcott playing right wing for Arsenal?
I wouldn't have played
I'm not
football,
totally sure that would have gone over well. So you were just straight Theo. There was no Theodore there.
No, Theodore, no.
Well, also, Taylor, did you know this? So in England, often an Edward becomes a Teddy. So my child is Edward, and we call him Teddy. But when I signed him up for music class, age 1.5, they marked him absent for the whole time, even though I was there, because they were like, there's no Theodore on the list. And I was like, no, his name's Ed. Yeah. So over here, Theo becomes Teddy. Like Teddy Roosevelt.
A bit like Richard's dick, right? So
similar but different.
But different.
Unnecessary comparison. Right, boys.
I thought Tottenham was having a good way about him. And then, like this, they're booed. What am I missing?
I would always clap regardless of the result. I just was that player. You can't force that on people.
The worst bit for me, which they should have put to some sad, forlorn music, was the way that Thomas Frank just looked back at them and stood staring at their backs.
I've never seen a forward like this ever.
This is Arsenal's title to lose.
They're going to have to play to his strengths like Man City played to Haaland. So it's going to have to be Strand Larsen's team. But I just can't see them getting out of it.
Miami have to win that game. Saturday night's going to be insane.
Right, we've got loads to get through, chaps. We're going to start with the title race, which is interesting. So this past weekend, it felt to me, I don't know about you guys, that everything slightly returned to some sort of order, some sort of normality. The table has slightly shifted back to a slightly more normal table, and everybody who thinks they should have won kind of did. So the title race, Theo, let's start with you. It feels like it's Arsenal against Liverpool against Erling Haaland. Accurate?
Yes.
It's looking like that way, isn't it? It really is. I mean, look, Haaland, I'm lost for words for him. I actually have no idea what to say. I said to my son today, I have never seen a forward like this ever. I have no word. I can't speak highly of him anymore. And I've seen some incredible strikers, but nothing compares to him. And I just can't. He's so different, and he just makes it look.
The physical specimen is one thing.
It's his face. It's his determination when he wanted to win the ball. I said to my son, just watch his face. He doesn't even look at the keeper, doesn't even look at the defender. His eyes are just fixated on the ball, and he knows exactly what he's doing. And that's his element. That's his zone. I've never seen anything like this. I'm just lost
He also
words.
looks like Thor. He looks like a god, right? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it plays into how he does it. Continue.
He's like one of those demigod. What are those Stranger Things that, those alien things? He's one of those who runs after you because he's different. And it is looking like that, Rebecca, to answer your question. But I just think Arsenal at this moment in time are just showing the same story for them. And what I really like as well is the fullbacks. I think everyone forgets about the fullbacks, how good they are.
Well, Ben White's been forgotten about.
Endless.
That tells you everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And Lewis Marskelly, and that just shows the edge that Mikel Arteta's got in that group. And there's no big egos. There doesn't seem to be anyway. He's keeping them under control. And that's the problem with Liverpool. But look, they're going back to basics, which is why would you change things if they were working in the first place? So I kind of feel like he must have been listening to us because we said about this. We said to him,
we've been saying this for a while, Theo.
Do you not think, Taylor? It just felt like Liverpool played to their strengths, and that's what brought them the title.
Well, first off, Robertson just simply coming in brought a balance in I would say, just a sense of calmness and continuity for Virgil van Dijk. But more importantly, for me, Szoboszlai has to be in the midfield because his athleticism, the ability to press, do all of that. But Theo, I want to go back to your first point. This is Arsenal's title to lose. And as Liverpool comes back to norm, Erling Haaland gets compared to Messi and Ronaldo by his manager Pep Guardiola and all of this. Arsenal was really, really good. And 3 reasons why. 1, third time this season, 0 shots on goal. It's the best start by defense in English history. Rebecca, that is something you and I and Theo would have never said for Arsenal. And yet here we are. That's what wins titles, by the way. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The 25-minute period from minute 15 to 40 in the first half, they were dominant. They were all over them all of the analytics you want to look at, whether it was expected goals. They had almost 3 expected goals in the 25 minutes. They scored the 2 goals, the 11 touches in the opposing box. Any way you look at it, analytically, they were dominant. And third, I know it's this like critique that all of a sudden people think it's a negative. They're scoring set piece goals for fun. They are. 8 goals from corners. No one's ever done that in the first 10 games of a Premier League season. Why do I bring that up? Those are 3 very unique, different ways on how to win a game. And I think Arsenal's never had this. It's always been our style. Beautiful to watch. Great, but we got to win 4-2. The 3 things I just gave you are 3 completely different ways to win. Win on a set piece. Don't give up a single shot on goal for the 3rd time this season. Or for 25 minutes, we are going to be suffocating and we are going to be on top of you. Rebecca, I just think this is Arsenal's title to lose. So yes, Liverpool comes back. Erling Haaland is a god. All of that. I still think it's Arsenal's to lose.
I mean, 7 clean sheets, I think, as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's unbelievable.
In a row.
And in a row. And they're going after that Chelsea record. And I think Chelsea conceded like 13 in the year or something stupid. Might be less.
Was it 15? I'll check.
Was it 15?
Might be.
Yeah, probably 15.
But Theo,
I'm
0 shots on goal.
That's the one.
Oh my Lord, that's
they
not
don't
even.
Give you chances.
It's not like your goalkeeper's having a blinder, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Your keeper's not even being tested.
They don't give you the opportunity to. That's the issue. Well, it's not an issue at all. It's a good thing.
No, it's a great thing. What's also interesting from what Taylor was saying is that it's not just, it was 15, by the way. It was 15 goals in 2004, 5 under Jose Mourinho, wasn't it? So they're absolutely going for that because they've only conceded 3. And by the way, they've only conceded 3 in the Premier League, but also they've only conceded 3 in all competitions, which is unbelievable. But in terms of Arsenal and the way that they play with these set pieces, do you think that teams are going to start to do better against the set pieces? So Taylor said it, they can win in other ways, they can score in other ways. Do you think the set piece thing will start to kind of even out a little bit, Theo?
I really don't, because you've got personnel who are so hungry to attack the ball, and when you have that attitude, it's the attitude, they generally believe they can affect the situation and cause a problem, and which then ends up being a goal. I think it's going to be interesting to see if Gyökeres is playing as well midweek. I think there's talks of him, he missed training, so it's one of those. How do they look when he's not in a team? Because we spoke before, he brought the best out of a lot of players in different ways. But yeah, the set piece thing, I don't think that will change. I think now you've got a lot of teams copying them, and it's not quite working for them. And it's the personnel. You've got people on attack, willing runners, all got a job, and they just hit that area, or they hit Gabriel. He's so key to it all.
They may not score goals at the same rates, but they're still going to be dangerous. That's where I agree with Theo. I think the Rice's delivery over the weekend was ridiculous. I think Gabriel's touch was sublime. All of that, right? They may not score 8 goals in their next 10 games, whatever it may be, Rebecca. So to answer your question, that can be yes, but I also still think they're going to be so threatening on them that it's still going to be a weapon to use. I just think there's a belief within the group that they are now on a corner or an attacking set piece. They're going to win their individual battle. And more often than not, I don't care what anyone tells you, that's what it comes down to, scoring goals off a set piece is I'm going to beat my man to that space and I'm going to win that ball. That's often what it comes down to. Right now, they're winning those battles.
And it's getting to the stage where teams are giving away corners and you're feeling as nervous as if you've given away a penalty. That's the other thing, which in itself then becomes a psychological battle. Okay, Taylor, Declan Rice or Moisés Caicedo right now? Who's the best midfielder in the Premier League?
Declan Rice.
That was pretty quick.
I don't think I say that very convincingly. And I'm not saying it's not you can make an argument for Caicedo and I'll listen to you fine. But for me right now, there is a level of play from Declan Rice. I think he's a big part of the leadership and belief within Arsenal. I think his set-piece delivery has improved, and I think you could literally show that. And if we were on TV right now, we'd show 4 or 5 examples from 2 years ago till now. I just think Declan Rice right now is at his peak. He's feeling himself, rightfully so, going into a World Cup, all of this. I'm taking Declan Rice right now.
I mean, they are playing in slightly different positions. Theo, are you going with Rice too?
Yeah, I am. That's always the key, isn't it, when you talk about players, comparing them positions. But having said that, right now, he's box to box. He's everything. I think there was a period of time when he was playing too safe. I generally felt that way. And he needed to get more goals as well. That's completely changed. And the stature of the man now as well. You look at the price tag; it's not even. It's an absolute snippet now when you look at it in the current market. But I totally agree with Taylor. I think right now he's probably the.
He covered 12 kilometers over the weekend.
That's exactly it. Be an athlete. He's an absolute athlete, and his attitude off the field is exceptional. The way he speaks to people, the way he has time for fans. I think all of that says a lot about character.
It's contagious, Theo. It's contagious because then when you do have an ego, and that guy looks at you and goes, "Yeah, you sure about that? I just ran 12 kilometers. Do your job."
Let's move on, chaps, to the other side of North London, shall we? Because there was that interesting moment I'm sure you've both seen, and anybody watching, let me just quickly tell you about it. Chelsea beat Tottenham by 1-0 in the game, and Spurs were poor. They lined up defensively. They were very conservative. It was almost like they lined up like they were playing an away game. The fans were booing from pretty much the first half. And at the end of the game, this thing that Gary Neville and Lee Dixon in the studio were talking about, this thing about managers going on the field. Like, what are you doing? Go. It's very odd. Like, I was saying that we used to do 30 seconds of on-field scenes at the end of the game with a few handshakes. But now we're on the field for 5 minutes because every man and his dog is on the field saying well done to every single other man and his dog. It absolutely goes on forever. The good thing about it from our perspective is things happen, right? And what happened with this
was great content.
It is great content. They're giving up, and then they're getting annoyed when we talk about it. But guys, you're giving us the content. Thomas Frank approaching Djed, Spence, and Micky van der Ven. Some people think he was saying go and speak to the fans. Gary Neville seemed to think that maybe Djed Spence had done something towards the end of the game that maybe Thomas Frank was referring to, and then Djed Spence got mad. Either way, they basically ignored the hell out of him. They walked past him. There was some hand gestures from Djed Spence. And the worst bit for me, which they should have put to some sad, forlorn music, was the way that Thomas Frank just looked back at them and stood staring at their backs for seconds. Seconds. The brilliant, I know, that's absolutely incredible. Now, afterwards in the press conference, I don't think he knew too much about the fact that everyone had seen this, but he very much sort of not dumbed it down. He very much closed off the conversation, as he does brilliantly with the press. And then today it has come out that they went into his office at the training ground by themselves. Djed Spence and Micky van der Ven went in and they said, he said, they came into my office unprompted. They said, we want to say sorry for the situation. Thomas Frank said they didn't want it to look bad or disrespectful for all kind of perceptions you get in this beautiful media world. It's always the media's fault. So, Theo, is it a worry, all of that?
Look, I'm not keen on managers coming on. I remember Arsene Wenger, I don't really ever remember him walking around the pitch, and he's one of the best managers of all time. I think Guardiola's obviously seen doing it, but in a very different way. Look, I understand why they do it, but this is the similar thing with when Jadon Sancho got substitute. You're doing it in front of, you wanted to get handshake Emery back then, didn't he? Want a handshake from the player. Do things behind the scenes, but as well, he's got us talking about it. It's got us deflecting away from the actual performance of Tottenham, which was very poor. Of course it was. However, players will react in an emotional state. They can't think straight after a game. I was someone who I would always clap regardless of the result. I just was that player. You can't force that on people. And that's the difficult thing. You can have the conversation in the background when no one sees to say, look, have you thought about this? Just to put the question into these players' minds to thinking, these guys travel. You know, the fans get up at the crack of dawn to get to games. They travel the motorways, however you see it. And then just try and get a player to think differently, but not actually in the state of the game when the final whistle's gone. It's so hard. And I kind of, I'm with both parties here. Because I was that player, always did it, so it's tricky for me. However, I think it's really difficult to really approach players when they're in that state. But can you imagine if you're going out to your manager and you tell them to clear off? You just wouldn't do it to speak to him like that. So they've done the right thing to apologise. They've obviously acknowledged they made a mistake, an error,
bad.
Big error.
It looked really bad.
It did look bad, and that's the thing. Do it behind closed doors. No one needs to see it. But did Thomas Frank do this for a purpose? Who knows? Look, but I'm not a big fan of managers coming on. Taylor, I don't know what you think about it, but the players, look, it's hard to approach players after a game like this. But I understand there's an element of you should potentially do some sort of clap, shall we just say, even if you want to get off the field. I don't know.
I mean, I love the conversation because I don't think this is talked about enough. We are, all three of us, a little bit old school, considering, I'd say Pep Guardiola at the end of Barcelona into Bayern Munich all of a sudden became the face of that moment. He's the first manager that I can recall that became the face of that. This is my style. This is whatever. And now everyone's followed it. my issue is it's not just the manager, it's the technical director, it's the assistant technical director, it's the head of the scouts, it's the guy that's selling me popcorn. Now it's everybody on the field, and I'm like, hang on a minute. That's where I stand on that. I don't understand why anyone is on the field. Now, in saying that, I'm also realizing that I am old school. I got to evolve and be open-minded to it. Sure, no problem. I think Thomas Frank was talking to them about a situation. I think that is the wrong place to do it because in the heat of the moment, right when the game ends and Tottenham fans are booing, because that's what I heard on my monitor in the hotel room in Cincinnati watching this game, I was like, hang on a minute. They're booing. Just have a sense of timing and be like, hang on a minute. I'm not going to say anything here. Now, Theo, you bring up another interesting one. I was not one that clapped. Not because I didn't want to. I never thought of it. I was so in the moment of I need to effing win the game or I'm pissed. That's just how I was. And for better or worse, it got me into some scenarios with fans later on because fans would be pissed. And I didn't understand it. There wasn't social media around when I was playing. It's not that I'm that old, but it very quickly came in. So I would have known that via social media. I didn't. So the next time I do an autograph session, whatever, fans would be like, hey, acknowledge us. And I'm like, I did full on apology. But they also realized who they wanted on the field representing their club. They wanted me to run through a wall and score a goal. Theo, you hit the nail on the head. You can't force players to do it. You can tell them, listen, this is the proper thing to do. I'm not sure I'm doing it there, though. They just got booed off the field. Rebecca, that was one of the worst performances they've had. The irony of this, and guys, I want to end my whole soliloquy with this, and you guys tell me why. I thought Tottenham was having a good way about him. Yeah. And then, like this, it's like automatic. They're booed. The content, we're talking about this. I thought Thomas Frank was doing a good. What am I missing?
No, you're not.
It was one bad game.
Well, you're missing the fact that football likes to change within 10 minutes because last season they finished just one place above the relegation zone.
Yes,
they are fifth right now. Now the problem is the home form. That's the problem. 1 win in 5, and so when you have 60-odd thousand people coming every week and you're not winning, that is a problem. I think the one thing that gets me over the years is. It's when the away team lose and play really badly, and then they all trudge over to the away fans, and they have this really weird face-off where you just you stand there looking at us, they're giving them abuse, and they're just kind of like, we're sorry. And why is the point? What is the point? The whole thing is
God
very
love you, Rebecca. I've never understood that. What the hell are we doing?
I've been an away fan at a ground when Palace have lost, and I don't want to particularly. You don't expect the players to come over. You just maybe put a hand up, thanks, and just. I want to go home. You want to go home. We all want to go home. We had a managerial firing.
No way! Holy cow!
In England? Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? Especially when he got a contract 6 weeks ago. I mean, could you actually make it up? He got a 3-year deal, Vitor Pereira, at Wolves 6 weeks ago. 3-year deal, and they fire him 6 weeks later. Apparently there's a clause where he'll only get a year's money. So, poor thing. So, Vitor Pereira fired after no win in 10. Gary O'Neill has distanced himself, Theo, from the job because, of course, I think they're still paying him because they fired him 4 months after giving him a new contract.
Wasn't he the former manager, or do I have a different Gary O'Neill?
No, you're right, Taylor. You're right.
Okay, cool.
That's the one. He was fired last November, 4 months after signing a new deal. So I think they probably thought, hang on a second, we're still paying Gary. We might as well just give him the job back, to be quite honest, because we're paying him anyway. He has apparently today distanced himself. So I don't know who you get, Theo. To me, when you look at Wolves there, I think 8 points from safety. I'm not sure anybody can keep him up. They should have tried and got Sean Dyche before he went to Forest.
Can Gary O'Neill actually apply for other jobs, and will he still be getting paid by Wolves?
No, you have to. On the whole, I don't know the intricacies of every contract, but from what Gary was saying at the weekend, on the whole, you get paid until you get another job. Or you go back to the job that you were fired from.
Or you do the job that you're being paid for.
I'm always when owners go back to previous managers, I'm always a little bit unless the owner's changed, what's the difference? I don't get it. Now you're going to get someone like Gary O'Neill. Well, not get Gary O'Neill. You've lost Cunha and Aït-Nouri as well, two of your best players, who pretty much probably kept them up. So there's no, apart from being a Premier League team, and that's the case right now. You're preparing for next year, I think. Right now, they can't win a game.
So you're preparing for somebody to bring them up.
You're someone like a Michael Carrick who's experienced in the Championship, who wants the next
It's a good shout.
best thing. Someone like that, I feel, might suit. However, you got to look at the culture at the club. It's very different. Put it this way, respectfully. Look, I'm brilliant for cultures, but I want to see a few more English players in that team. I think they equipped the whole team the other day with no English players in the whole squad. I think there was one on the bench actually who didn't even play. That needs to change. So I feel like just to get that connection with the fans would help. Personally, looking out on the outside, not knowing much about Wolves, however I see it. Strand Larsen's a massive player for them. If they have any chance to stay up, they're going to have to play to his strengths like Man City played to Haaland. So it's going to have to be Strand Larsen's team. It has to be for them to stay up, but I just can't see them getting out of it. They've got too much to do, I feel, right now.
I think they've got a bigger issue for the next 6 months, but also when they get relegated, do they have an idea of who they are? Theo, I think you're talking about a much more macro level conversation with Wolves, and I do believe there's an issue there. I absolutely believe there's a culture issue, and I could not agree with you more. I don't think this is about relegation out of the Prem. I think this is more about, do you know who you're going to be when you're playing in Championship next year? Because this very quickly can spiral out of control, and the Wolves could be in League One very quickly.
We've got to talk about a quick touch on a game that's come out midweek, guys. Liverpool, Real Madrid, I think pick of the bunch for the fourth league match in the Champions League.
I'm there.
Group
I'm there.
phase.
I'm doing it.
You're going? You're going? Love it.
Yeah, I'm doing the game.
For Amazon Prime? Okay, excellent.
I am indeed.
So now Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has been on the bench for the last two league games for Real Madrid, returning to Anfield. Taylor, how do you think they're going to receive him, the Liverpool fans?
I didn't like how he was exited by the fans, and I was very vocal of this on social media, just because he honored his contract. He didn't do anything against the contract. He played to the highest ability that he had. He won. He contributed. He's a local boy, and he just had a dream of going to Real Madrid. And I thought the way Anfield, even to a point where Jurgen Klopp is literally backing his players, saying, who the hell are we to support this? I didn't like that. I'm not revisiting that, but I'm bringing that up because that's where I stood then. I honestly don't know. We just talked about fans, and the word fan comes from the word fanatic. There's a reason why. Oftentimes they're not using what's between their ears. I hope for Trent's human level, he's received because of everything he's given to that club. I hope it goes well because I think he deserves it. I don't think he regrets going to Real Madrid. I know he's been not playing as much as he wants to, all of that. I think when it's all said and done, he's still doing what he wants to do. But Rebecca, it's a long-winded way of saying I really don't know how Anfield's gonna receive him. I don't.
I mean, he's had a few injuries, of course. That's always been the tricky point when you move clubs and then you end up, you need to get that rhythm, and he hasn't got that. However, I'm with you, Taylor. I'm totally with you. I think the fact that he won't be in the firing line straight away, I think being a substitute, which is very likely, being able to warm up at the Klopp end, through we just say, I think actually he might get quite a good reception.
I hope
so. And the warm up, but I think when he comes on the pitch, he'll be different. I do. Or if he comes on the pitch,
but on that level, Theo, I'm a believer. Listen, he's wearing the opposing team. Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But if you're booing him during warm-ups, if you're literally saying vulgar things to him, like, miss me with that. Miss me. Like, but when the game starts and you want him to listen, he's on the other team for that 90 minutes. He's on the other team. I have zero problem with that. I'm talking about he comes out of the dressing room, he's warming up. Like, stop. Don't do that.
Let's move on, guys, to Major League Soccer playoffs, which are getting spicy.
It's a zoo.
It's a zoo, did you say?
Yeah, it's a zoo.
Okay, so where were you this week, and what else? Tell us what we should be looking at, because there's some things that went down.
I was in Nashville under Miami. Miami next Saturday will be hosting Nashville, and they have to win that game.
So that's the
same
third
spot they were in. Yes,
last season.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Last year they lost to Atlanta. Rebecca, they were the best team in the league, and they lost to Atlanta. There's going to be so much pressure on this group. One, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets just announced over the past month that they're going to retire, that their career's over. So now that extra pressure there emotionally. Two, Messi knows the only way to solidify this entire thing that he's trying to put together before he retires and becomes part owner is to win an MLS Cup, no different than his owner did with the LA Galaxy and David Beckham. Saturday night's going to be insane. And before that will be Columbus-Cincinnati, which the rivalry hell is real. They've got a third game because Columbus last night, which was the second game of my road trip, they won 4-0. 4-0 against Cincinnati.
Wow. And just for Theo and I, for anyone listening, I know our audience is mainly based in the US. For anyone in the UK who's just coming on board, because this is quite a new MLS playoff structure, when whoever it is goes through from this round, how many more rounds until the MLS Cup final, which is a one-off?
Yes, great question. It becomes after the first round, and the reason why they do this, just for the English listener, is the international break is right in the middle of the playoffs. So in order to keep the momentum of wait for the most important games after the November international break, that's what happens. So the first round is 3 games. First team to win 2 games advances, and then it's 2 games, and then it's a cup final. But now it's just 1 game. The team that had the best regular season hosts that final or that playoff game, and we're going to get Thomas Müller versus Son in Vancouver on November 22nd.
That's a semi-final. Whoever wins that goes to the final of the MLS Cup.
Yep. Goes to the final of the Western Conference. So
and
to answer your question, 2 more games,
final.
And then you got the cup final. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's quite a journey.
Theo, do you keep notes? Do you keep notes?
I'll just explain that again, dumb it down a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp.
Excellent.
But this round is the only round where it's more than 1 game, right? This is a round of 3. Okay, got it.
To protect against the upsets. That's why they did it. But
right, okay. So what about the team at the moment that is just making you think they've got, often in England in the Championship, the playoffs are all decided on momentum. Crystal Palace have often finished 6th and won the playoffs. We've also finished 3rd and not won the playoffs. So which is the team which is having the momentum, which is peaking right now?
Columbus scares the living crap out of everybody. And the reason why I say that is they signed the Club World Cup this past summer. Abu Ali came in and knocked the doors off the entire competition, scored 3 or 4 goals or whatever the number was. And immediately Columbus went out and spent big money. They sold Cucho Hernandez to a La Liga club for over like 12 to 14, $15 million. He was the difference. So naturally, Columbus goes into the playoffs. They're the 7th seed. I'm telling you right now, they don't play like a 7th seed. They just, Abu Ali, who they spent real money to bring in, he fractured his ankle the last game going into the playoffs. So they don't have a 9. They're playing a false 9. They're doing different things. They knocked the socks off of FC Cincinnati, who's a 2nd seed. If anyone's nervous about playing a certain team, a certain style, the answer to your question is the Columbus Crew. They're not a 7th seed, but they are right now because they haven't had a 9 for about 15 games of the season.
Just one quick final line on the playoffs. So San Diego, Portland. Portland stayed in the game by winning on penalties.
Phil Neville, how about that one?
Phil Neville, well played. I mean, Gary was delighted. He only watched the first 20 minutes. Apparently Saturday night he got tired. So he had to go to sleep. So he came in the next morning. He was like, what happened? But luckily my child gave me a play-by-play video. I'm not even joking. Teddy loves Portland Timbers. So Paul filmed him. We get a full play-by-play of what happened in the penalty shootout. Literally, Teddy goes through every single penalty. Some of them just sounded terrible, by the way. They were terrible. I haven't had a chance to watch back, yeah. But
Rebecca,
Phil Neville,
your son is 100% spot on. They were terrible.
He said they skied them, Mum. Then they skied the next one. Then they skied the next one. And Phil Neville was also at this stage. He didn't get to this stage, did he, last season? But to go into the 3rd game against a force like San Diego... I mean, this feels for the Portland Timbers and for Phil Neville's career. There's no pressure on him, right? Because San Diego are at home and have been better all season. So if they could do it, that's a huge step forward for Phil.
It's massive. And listen, Phil's playing with house money. He'd be the first person to tell you that. He's going to tell his players in the dressing room, guess what, guys? There's nobody in the world thinks you're going to win this game. San Diego, first experience, first year together. Chucky Lozano, their big money superstar, getting in arguments that he's now suspended. He returns. There's more turmoil in San Diego where Portland and Phil are sitting there saying, guys, nobody expects us to be here. I say that, though, with a caveat of they're going to have to find a way to stop San Diego from scoring, and I'll answer that question for you guys. They can. So if they can't stop San Diego from scoring, can they score 2 goals on the road? If they do, that game will go to penalties, and who knows, Portland might surprise people.
Chaps, we've got a new element this week.
Ooh, I like this.
Player of the week, right? You each choose a player, whether it's Major League Soccer from the playoffs or from the Premier League, and you each get 30 seconds. I've got a timer right here. And you're going to give me 30-second argument, okay, why that player's player of the week. And I'm going to then judge, which is my favourite position to be in, who wins each week. So I'm going to go, first person to go is going to be Taylor in 3, 2, 1.
Denis Bouanga was one of the standout players of the 2025 MLS regular season, leading LAFC through a great campaign getting into the playoffs. But this past weekend, he joined a special company. He became the 9th player in MLS history to score 10 goals in the playoffs in their history. And I just want to read you the 8 players that have done so. Landon Donovan, Carlos Ruiz, Roy Lasser, Jaime Moreno, Ante Raza, Brian McBride, Preki, and Taylor Twellman. So, Denis Bouanga, you are my player of the week because you are now in my house. Welcome.
Bouanga. Okay, he's joined your club. That's got a very Twellman slant to it, but it's okay. Theo, let me reset the clock. Your player of the week. Tell us who it is. And why. Go.
Right. My player of the week is Danny Welbeck, and I'll tell you why. First of all, he's everyone's guy. He's that guy. He's full of energy. He's delivering his vintage performances. I think he's improving every game. The goals he's scoring at this moment in time as well is standing out. I think he scored 4 in his last 5 games as well. I think he creates chances selfishly. Right now, I think he's probably the closest that you could get to a Harry Kane that would work well for England, but getting the best out of players. That's a big thing that I'm saying right now because he contributes so much. He's very inspirational as well. Great for the squad. Off the field.
Okay.
There we go.
Got to stop you there, Theo.
And I played with him. There you go.
I did a graphic, I should say, on the show a couple of weeks ago about Welbeck. Did you know he's the 2nd longest serving Premier League player right now? He has been playing for 18 years. And I love your shout, Taylor, and I love Bouanga, and I think he's definitely exciting me a lot as we go deeper into the playoffs with LAFC. But Welbeck, 18 years.
Agree.
He's never even played in another division. The guy is unbelievable. He's nearly 35. Everyone is now saying he is definitely the backup to Harry Kane. He's also super lovely. I am going to go Danny Welbeck this week. Well played, Theo. Picks of the week now, gentlemen. Updated table. Theo's on 54. Taylor's on 44, closing hard. I'm on 22. The producer, let me just tell you, forgot to give me a point this week. I had to go back. I had to get VAR to have a little look. Yeah.
Bullshit.
I said Haaland to score for City and he just forgot.
Yes, you did.
So I managed to get
You
myself a point. Exactly. So I'm on 22. Massive increase from 21. Okay, so this coming Saturday, Sunderland, Arsenal. I need the result and a goal scorer. It's a 12:30 Eastern kickoff, 5:30 UK. There are 4 straight games this coming Saturday, by the way. So this is like the third part of the very large 4-layered sandwich.
Okay, all right. So the fact that they're travelling Slavia Prague, a couple away games, Jokeres.
Stadium of Light, hard place to go.
Tricky, 5:30. I might go in Arsenal 1-0.
Oh, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Okay, scorer?
Marino.
Oh, okay. Set piece. Taylor.
I love 1-0. I was going to give 1-0 anyways.
Okay, so you're going to go 1-0.
I just love 1-0 anyways. So it's
scorer?
It's got 1-0. That's the problem. Like, is Jokeres miss midweek and come back? I kind of like him if he plays on the weekend. I'm going to risk it. I'll take Jokeres.
Jokeres, okay. And I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. Bukayo Saka. On Sunday, right, it's San Diego, Portland in that game 3 that we just talked about. At 9 p.m. Eastern, how do you think it's going to go for our mate Phil?
Phil, don't kill me. I love you, buddy. San Diego 3-4-1, 3-1, 4-1, 3-1. I'll do 3-1 San Diego.
Okay.
And I'll take Dreyer with a goal.
We don't need a goal scorer, but that's fine.
Oh, of course not, because
Theo will
we
be
don't
asleep.
have enough time to watch these games. Theo will be sleeping.
It's 2 a.m. Do you want Theo to get up? Theo.
Yes.
When you're watching this game.
Who's no, I'm not really.
A puppy.
Who
are you going for, Theo?
For 2-0 San Diego. I don't think Portland travel very well.
It's a very good assessment. It really
But
is.
I just want to be there for Phil. I want to give
Me
Phil.
too.
I think,
That's why I'm giving him a goal.
Sometimes crazy things happen. I'm going to say...
because Phil used to kick me when I played, when he played Everton, so absolutely not. Maybe 4-0. No, 2-0 still.
I'm going to go crazy here, Taylor. I know you're going to say I'm crazy. I'm going to go 1-0 Portland. That's crazy, isn't it? Is that crazy?
I love it. Oh,
Okay,
no, it's certifiable delusional, but yeah, love it. I love that.
Excellent. All right.
Crazy people are more fun.
Way more. Last one on Sunday, Man City Liverpool. I need a result and a goal scorer. Kicks off at 11:30 a.m. Eastern and 4:30 p.m. UK. So Theo, we'll come back to you. Man City Liverpool.
I will go for Haaland, of course.
No.
I'll go for 2-1.
City.
Who?
City. Haaland.
Okay.
You like that, don't you, Taylor?
No.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to roll the dice here. Yep.
Yeah.
Liverpool win.
I like 2-2 or a 2-1 Liverpool win. So give me 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. I think Liverpool returns to last season. I think this is the game that we all of a sudden revert back to, who is this team? Now, I do, but they play Real Madrid in midweek, don't they?
They do.
That's where this thing, like, all right, I'm changing it. I'm going 2-2.
Scorer?
I mean, if I don't take Haaland, I want to have his babies. I already said this last podcast, so I'll take Haaland.
Okay, amazing. I'm going to go 1-1 Haaland. I think often, in my experience of these games, they're often
a bore.
finish in a draw. They often are. I'm really hoping they're not, but they often are. Okay, let's hope they're not, though, because we're about to do a combined Man City, Liverpool 11, okay? Because I'm interested in this, because they're the two contenders behind Arsenal for the title. But you know what I've done, guys? I've just taken the bull by the horns, and I've just said that we're already putting in Alisson Becker. Thank you.
Huh?
We're already putting in Alisson Becker. Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Let me just... Here's what I think in non-negotiables. Alisson, Virgil van Dijk, Rodri, Mo Salah, Erling Haaland. Right? Is that fair to say we've got those 5 in?
I think you have a good discussion on Donnarumma versus Alisson.
Do you?
But
Who are you going to go for then, guys? This is your 11, even though I've done 5 of them.
Go ahead, Theo.
I like Donnarumma. I like a keeper who just keeps out of the bloody net.
Me too. I'm taking Donnarumma just because simply I want my goalie to save the ball, and if he has to kick the ball out of bounds 100 times, but I give up 0 goals, I don't care about my goalkeeper having feet, but I digress.
Let's play 4 at the back, just to keep it simple, so it gets very complicated. Cool. So, should we say Virgil van Dijk's in?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you partner him with? Would you partner him with
Stones?
Yeah. Agreed.
And then let's talk fullbacks.
This is what I'm asking. Am I trying to win the game? Am I basing it because if Virgil's in, he loves his binky by the name of Andy Robertson. So if Virgil's playing there, I don't care who's
but
better.
I don't think City's fullbacks they're not all that anyway, are they? So maybe Robertson makes it. Should we put him in?
Yeah, I think I would put him in.
Left back, okay. And what about on the other side?
Could you put John Stones right back and Diaz centre back? Can you do that?
Yes.
Maybe Nunes, actually. Nunes.
Can we play Szoboszlai as a right back?
I think we might have to put Szoboszlai in because...
Szoboszlai, okay.
Because I don't think he makes the midfield.
Oh, okay. Good shout. Right, so in midfield, we've definitely got Rodri, boys. Who else are we going with?
I mean, Gravenberch?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Rodri, Gravenberch, and who else are you putting in there then?
Foden?
I'm throwing McAllister in. I'm telling you right now, I'm throwing McAllister in.
Foden or McAllister?
I'm going with the English guy. But I can't argue with someone who win the World Cup.
Good. Phil Foden, done.
And then up front, we're going to go Salah, Haaland, and either Ekitike, Gakpo, Chiesa, Isak, or Marmoush.
I love Ekitike, by the way.
But you're going to play Ekitike wide?
I'm going to have to, aren't we? Haaland's got to play.
I'd argue Isak would be better in that role next to Erling Haaland, even though I like Ekitike better than Isak as a 9.
Oh,
but Erling Haaland is my 9.
Very well, aren't they? They complement each other quite well, wouldn't they, Haaland and Isak?
I think Isak as a wide target forward would absolutely kill it next to Haaland and Salah.
So it's Donnarumma, Van Dijk and Stones, Robertson and Szoboszlai, Rodri, Gravenberch and Foden, Haaland, Isak and Salah. Okay, so that's 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Liverpool, 5 City. That's quite good, that, guys. Question of the week from Manuel in Mesa, Arizona. Oh, I like this one. What is your guilty pleasure TV program or film, Theo?
Ooh, this is good.
I would probably put on a Marvel's film, maybe,
you?
just in the background. I'd
Okay, I've
probably
never
whack
seen
on
any of
one
them,
those.
not one.
Or
Okay.
Lord of the Rings or something like that, maybe.
Oh, all right.
I don't really
Interesting.
watch too much
But that's
TV,
not really
guys.
guilty pleasure, though. That's all
No,
right,
no,
isn't
no,
it?
I don't know.
Rebecca, Theo's like, you know what I'd watch? I'd watch
Lord
Schindler's
of the
List.
Rings.
That'd be a good movie.
Guilty pleasure. I mean, bit of David Attenborough. Love a bit of
Bit
David
what?
Attenborough.
It's not guilty pleasure, though, Theo. Something that's trash. Do you watch trash
I don't watch trash because I want to line those. I would just want to, line those
you're
people up
so
and
smart.
throw oranges at them.
Oh, man. I feel like I am terrible. In comparison, I'm terrible.
Who throws oranges?
I don't know. I just thought of that.
So, have you guys seen Slow Horses on Apple TV?
No, wait, it's on my list.
Heard about it.
It's brilliant.
Okay.
Second one for you, unbelievable show. I'm a Taylor Sheridan. Brilliant first name. He's much smarter than I am. Unbelievable director, producer of shows. Have you guys seen Landman on Paramount Plus?
I've heard about that one, too. Still haven't watched it.
Oh my God.
I did.
But my guilty pleasure is like CIA type shit, right? Love it.
Okay.
Lioness. It's about 2 women that run the CIA department of the United States of America. It's effing brilliant. I watched, this is why it's a guilty pleasure, 17 episodes. 17 episodes in one round trip that I had last weekend, 2 weekends ago.
You
So
sound like
think about that.
Mourinho. 17 episodes.
17
in one
episodes.
round trip. That's insane. Okay. So my guilty pleasure, because I spend my entire life listening, reading, talking about football, my absolute big 3, Selling Bloody Sunset. Selling Sunset on Netflix. I've already watched 9 straight episodes of the last round trip I did, right? Love that. Do you know what that is, Theo? It's a bunch of LA estate agents selling massive houses, but also just having huge rows and wearing amazing clothes while doing it. That's amazing. The second one is, the other 2 are very similar.
You lose brain cells, but it's great.
Oh, so many brain cells are lost. Love is Blind.
awesome.
You've heard of Love is Blind?
Oh,
Dream. I mean, bring it on. I know. Sometimes I fast forward through the pods a little bit slow. Let's get to the honeymoon. Let's just see all the fallout. It gets very messy. And then Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight, where Theo, you're such a snob. Where the experts pit you together and you have to get married at literal first sight, and then they film. And then, like, in 8 weeks, you decide if you're going to stay married or get a divorce. Oh,
I'm sorry. Like this, I can't. I don't have a guilty pleasure because I can't waste my time watching that stuff. I just
Theo.
can't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're probably
I'm a
right.
party pooper, aren't I? I
you're
apologise.
probably
no,
living
you're
a better
not at all.
life. But I just,
No,
I've
not so
got
much
to
that. I just-
decompress.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. My decompressor is watching Lord of the Rings. Gandalf.
Right, that's it. I've had enough. On that note, chaps, what show? Manuel in Mesa, Arizona, thank you for your question. Keep sending in your questions, everybody. Wherever you get your podcast, make sure you subscribe, you like, and you leave us comments, you leave us questions. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you do it. We want to see as many comments as possible, as many questions as possible. And we thank you for joining us today, and we will see you all next week.
I would have
Bye,
not
guys.
had Theo as a Frodo Baggins lover.
You should see my feet. I used to be called Frodo feet as well. I generally did. I did. In Arsenal.